Hey Arizona, just because weed is legal now doesn't mean your criminal record is clear. You need to visit azexpunge.org today. The Reclaim Your Future campaign can expunge your record for free. Go to azexpunge.org now. Hey Arizona, just because weed is legal now doesn't mean your criminal record is clear. You need to visit azexpunge.org today. The Reclaim Your Future campaign can expunge your record for free. Go to azexpunge.org now. Hey Arizona, just because weed is legal now doesn't mean your criminal record is clear. You need to visit azexpunge.org today. The Reclaim Your Future campaign can expunge your record for free. Go to azexpunge.org now.
Dr. Greenthumb Show. Lord of mercy. How you doing?
Help!
I need somebody.
Help!
Not just anybody.
Help! I knew you guys weren't going to do the high falsetto part.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to knock it down either. It's the Dr. Greenthumb Show live on Twitch, Discord, YouTube, and the home site, www.brealtvcontest.tv. I'm Dr. Greenthumb. Hello. To my right, Mr. Goodlight, DJ C-.
What up? Happy Thursday, everybody.
It's very happy. We have the legendary Psycho Leezy in the building.
Salute.
Up in the treehouse crew, Bolton, Blombo, Bra, and the Dominator.
Yo, what up, B? We're up here bicking it.
B and Boo.
I see you are.
You be, I am. All right, let's get that right. And back by popular demand, my man Jon Stites in the house.
Salute.
Cali Blazes cussing. We were getting that. Why is there two Cali Blazes up in here? It's like, yeah. It was a good show, man, yesterday. Salute to Kenny Flores for coming through.
Yeah, man.
Telling some hilarious stories. That last one.
That boy is, he's gone.
He got his titty sucked on. That was a lot to process, but it was hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, that literally should have been like one of them, just say no ads. Somebody should just take that right off of here and put it on there and just be like, don't fuck with crank.
Yeah, don't
Don't do meth.
The ills of meth.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Perils.
The perils of meth. What's crazy is that we were talking about a part of the show yesterday. We were talking about joke thievery, right?
Yeah.
And how Kenny came across some people he knew that stole his bit.
Yep.
And this happens. This happens in comedy. We've heard about it many a times. And this morning on KTLA, oddly enough, it pops up again, right? Cat Williams is doing Shannon Sharp's new show, accusing Cedric, the entertainer, of stealing a joke.
Yep.
And apparently, Cat Williams was doing this BET event or something like that. It was 2 years before Kings of Comedy. And he tells this joke about getting in his car and low riding, and it's basically the same bit Cedric used in Kings of Comedy. Mm-hmm. And they put both bits up side by side. And he totally retold the joke and revised it. It was definitely like a Mencia thing, where the Bill Cosby bit that he took from, that Mencia took from Bill Cosby, sort of revamped it a little bit and then told it like several years later.
Right.
And it wasn't until someone, who was really into comedy that knows Bill Cosby's jokes and heard that was like, wait a minute. And this time it was Cat Williams saying it for himself, like, homie took my joke.
And that's not the guy you want. You don't want to get in his crosshairs, man.
No.
Not that motherfucker.
He's good for that.
Yeah, I love Cat Williams.
Yeah.
He's good.
And when you
really
see and when you see it was it's the joke.
Mm-hmm.
It's the joke. It was on KTLE this morning, and they ran it side by side, and it's hard to say that he didn't when you run it side by side.
Yeah.
Even the mannerisms of the way he
Did
told
you see
it.
that? You saw that?
Yeah,
this
I
morning?
saw. Yeah, it was crazy.
I
Yeah,
mean,
very similar.
It happens in hip hop too. Biters. They bite your music. They bite your raps.
That happens in every
Style.
every aspect of
Your
entertainment.
flow.
Yep.
Yeah. like rappers these days, right, John, is with a lot of the independents and some of the independent labels and even major labels, they'll see what one artist is doing and then they want that same record from, let's say, you, if they sign you. We need something like this.
Right.
So they'll go out of their way to find an artist that's that. But the way that they do it now is they'll go on YouTube, and we were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
You have a relatable story to this, right? They'll see someone on YouTube that's got a poppin' following. Like if they got 500,000 followers or 1 million followers, and it's music based and stuff like that. They're like, okay, well, this guy or this girl got something to work with. Let's go get them and give them a deal. Problem is that, you give them a deal and they haven't been through all the process like we talk about, the stuff that, being an artist, there's certain processes that you have to go through. And a lot of people are, they're allowed to skip steps these days. And sometimes when they get put in a situation, they really don't know how to handle it. Because it's like, it's not necessarily overnight fame, but it's like you've shortcutted, the path.
And so when you see, like, when you point that out, what a lot of the young guys do is they automatically default to old hater. And it's like, dude, nobody's begrudging you your bread or your success. That's not what we're getting at. We're just saying, like, hey, man, eventually you're going to have to do a Mexican show or a black show, or you're going to have some women, or you might be you go to a comedy club, and sometimes the Sunday show, without telling you, they just add a charity. That's happened to me. I had to do a domestic violence. Like, do you remember that animal in Cleveland that had those women underneath?
Yeah.
3 of them, it was a benefit for them. And it was at the Cleveland Improv. And my last day there, the last night, the guy's like, hey, do you want to do a benefit? I'm like, what's it for? And they're like, domestic violence. And I was like, what? And he goes, African-American women and domestic violence. I was like, did you get any further out my fucking lane? But the thing was, man, I was holding back, and finally I just was like 10 minutes in, it was not going well. And I just go, hey man, do you guys want me to like do my act? And immediately, just like that's what always happens, they were all like, do your fucking act. And this one chick in the back goes, I've been beating the head with a hammer. We can handle your fucking jokes.
And it's true.
But I just had,
yeah,
you got to have that ability. And if you're headlining, if you want your money, you got to do 50 minutes.
See,
it's not open for debate.
And that's the thing, because you've put the work in and not shortcutted anything. It's about reading the room, right? Like when you're a DJ, if you put enough years in, you know how to read the room. Okay,
Absolutely.
I know what records to play, and I know what not to play.
Yeah,
I don't want to clear the dance floor, so I got to know the room. Like, and it's the same thing with rap shit too. Sometimes we'll come out with a set list, and if we see that it's like not like pushing and making people react, we might call audible, hey, play this instead that's on the set. And our ability to adapt, a lot of these youngsters don't have that because they ain't put enough time in to know like that stuff and reading a room and like shifting to a different gear if the first half of the set is not working. And that comes with experience. And some of these guys, because like overnight, now they got a major label deal and they got to get out there and do that run. They may have a viral song. They don't know all those steps.
Yeah. And one of the things you'll hear about, like some of the old school guys out there that are stadium acts by now, or at least arenas, is if you tour with them, what they'll do is they'll walk out and they'll just look at their opener like 5 minutes before they go on, and they'll just go first joke last joke first. Open with your opener, close with your, let's see it. So your whole act needs to be, and then he'll go, that joke in the middle, open with that. And they're doing that. So you've got your whole act is a headlining set, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no.
It's cool.
It totally makes sense. I mean, and the ability to shift, like, because like you said, and Kenny was talking about it, he spent so much time scripting his deal, and like every joke has to hit at this time, and it's got to be in a certain place, and I got to concentrate on that. I can't let this or that distract me so that I go off the storyline. But with enough time, and he even said it, now he could just sort of improv the moment and find something that's maybe not a part of the set, interject it, and then pop back in. Or the ability to like shift jokes around on the spot.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's been fascinating to see how many musicians dig comedy and how many comedians like just geek the fuck out of musicians.
Yeah.
Like I've been watching that connection, and for me, I've had people say like, "Wow, stand-up's scary because you're the only motherfucker up there," and I'm like, that to me is what makes it easy.
Right.
Because no matter what I fuck
It's
up,
on you.
Well, not just that. If you fuck something up, you just go to the crowd like, fuck that up, but you guys are a bunch of cunts, and they all just start laughing. But like
Cali Blaze thing to say.
yeah, but like to me, when I watch a band
Blaze.
or an acting group and there's a bunch of people, that looks stressful because now I got other people.
Oh yeah.
So everyone's
Yeah.
got it. I don't like that shit.
Everyone is dependent
Yeah.
on each other's role to
Yeah.
play it right.
Yep.
And when it goes wrong, you'll see it.
Yeah.
People will start looking at each other,
yeah.
you know, with either the bewilderment face, like, "Oh my God, what happened?"
Oh,
or
yeah.
like, "Fuck you, just
Crickets.
Yeah.
you know, like that type of thing. We used to have this thing on stage, and we talk about it from time to time. Whereas if someone fucked up, we'd throw a yellow flag. I was throwing yellow flags at everybody, you know. Oh, Bobo was off right here. Ah, Said Dog was off. Ah, the DJ was off. Ah, I was throwing flags left and right on this tour. And finally, when I made the mistake, which was on Insane, and we were talking about this.
Yeah.
It was at the Stone Pony in New Jersey. We were rocking Insane in the Brain. I get halfway through the song, I forget the rest.
Wow.
And I like immediately in that moment when I stopped and there was that doo, 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 you know what I mean, going, I looked back and all the flags were coming at me. It was like I was getting pissed on by yellow flags.
A sea.
A sea of yellow flags. And that was our little playful way of telling each other we fucked up. Everybody was waiting to tell me I fucked up.
See, I think people like seeing that.
Yeah.
I remember I saw Hank Williams Jr. I'll never forget. This was 1993. It was in Cincinnati, Ohio. And I drove from Indy to Cincy. This motherfucker came out. He was so fucked up, dude. The show hasn't even started. The closer does his acoustic. I think it might have been Chris Christopherson or kind of like a bigger name. And he goes, "All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we're going to bring up." He came with an acoustic guitar, a bottle of Jack Daniels. He was so fucked up that he got on the stool and the spotlight went on him. And I promise you, he just fell off.
Oh,
And
man.
the show was over. And me and my boys still, I saw him 6 other times.
Done deal.
Good shows, but we still are always like, man, you remember that time Hank was so fucked up
Yeah. And people remember
off
that.
the stool and think it's cool because it's like, that's a human moment.
It's a human moment.
Yeah.
You know, artists beat themselves up about it all the time, but you got to understand that is a part of the game. Even athletes, right?
Yeah.
World-class athletes, sometimes they don't hit the winning shot. Kobe missed many winning shots.
Like Chappelle
Michael
says,
Jordan did too.
like Chappelle said, I get paid for the attempt.
Yeah. We get paid.
Hit or
for the
miss.
attempt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hit or miss.
I'm
Hell
keeping
yeah.
the money.
I'd rather have more hits than misses, but yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But people appreciate when you own the mistake.
Yes.
That's why I love about LA being a showcase town. So LA and New York are the only places where you go watch 7 people do 15-minute sets. And on the weekdays, everyone's in town. They're not on the road. That's where they're working out their shit. So I don't really want to see, or I would rather watch Bill Burr work on his hour from week to week to week. Because by the time the polished hour comes out on Netflix, you're kind of like, I mean, it's cool.
You've
but
heard it.
Yeah, but what you'd rather see is like how he took, and it's all those guys and gals. who
All the
come there.
steps, yeah.
And watching them every show try something different. And then when you see the pieces, it's like Tetris. You see something come together and they're like, oh shit, that's it.
Have you ever been in a situation like because you put the shows together and then you've done, you know, shows on other people's bills? Have you ever been in a position where you had to tell a comedian, hey, maybe you should think of something else to do?
Mm-mm.
Everybody was always pretty damn funny.
Yeah, I was really bad when I started, and I remember thinking like, I'm never gonna get involved in bad comedy again because it's the worst shit in the world.
Yeah.
But no, I only work with really like established pros, and the other thing is I won't add anyone just because of race or gender.
Right.
So
They got to be funny.
there's like 4 female comics I work. They're monsters, and if all of them are booked, I may just have all dudes.
Right.
Because I'm not going to plug someone in. And the other thing is you have multiple comics, so somebody might not show up.
Right.
So lineups switch on the fly because when they're doing those in-town sets, they're not getting paid.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're going to be there right.
It's
Like,
exposure.
yeah, they're kind of going to come when they come because they're doing you a favor as they work out their material.
Who are the 4?
Well, April, like actually the chick who's coming, I just added, who I think is one of the funniest people in the world. She's a Peruvian American chick named Luz Pasos.
Luz Pasos.
And I just added her to the Sunday show. She's
All right.
gonna be on it. She consistently makes me laugh as much as any comic I've ever seen. That's no shit, man. She's fucking hilarious.
That's awesome. I look forward to seeing her.
Yeah, she's great. You got Whitney Cummings.
When she's
You
hilarious.
got Nikki Glazer.
Hilarious.
You got Eliza Schlesinger. April Macy. There's a Jessime Peluso is one. Janelle James. There's a bunch.
A lot of lady killers in there.
Yeah. And so when somebody will be like, "Well, there's no women on your show," I'm like, "Well, no more available." They're like, "Well, you have to have one." I'm like, "Have you seen this lineup? What if somebody's running late and they don't get to do 5 up front?" Now somebody's running behind and Paul Rodriguez gets off stage, and before Ken goes up, someone's got to do 8 minutes, man. You can't.
Do some comics like purposefully go over their time just because they're going to take their time with their bit?
No, what's kind of been an awesome thing to see, and that's why Dane Cook's such a fucking dick, man, because he was known for also doing like not just the joke stuff, but he would do incredibly long sets to face fuck a crowd because he didn't like the guy who was going up next.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So it'd be 8 people on a lineup, showcase show at the Hollywood Laugh Factory, whatever, and a bunch of people he'd just do like an hour and a half.
Want to drain them.
Yeah, on purpose.
Hey, that's the equivalent of if you got a DJ gig and the DJ before you is a hater and he plays all the bangers before you go
Right.
on.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it's all
Dude.
you like everything he played was in your crate.
Dude.
And now you
Dude,
come up with some other-
I talked about this yesterday, but my first 5 years on the road, I only did black rooms. And so the way it normally works at a comedy club is you've got an opener, you've got the middle act, and you got the headliner. Well, when you do black shows, 8 times out of 10, the fucking MC is the local DJ on the
Right.
radio station
right.
who's got no real comedic talent, but he's got crazy hype and he's got a bunch of local shit
Right.
that you really can't follow when someone's just like, "Yo, the fucking Ralph's at the corner of 3rd and 7. That motherfucker's crazy, am I right?" And then does like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the other thing is they're pissed that they're not the middle act. And then when they find out it's a white dude, they're just like, they would literally bring every bit of plutonium they had. Just start breaking out, one more time, and one more time, and one more time. Now this motherfucker. Just to watch me. I'd be like, damn, dude. I never took it personally, though.
Yeah. I mean, you can't. You just got to go up in there and do the job. I mean, it's hard to say that you can't because sometimes you do when you know they're doing it on purpose. If someone's like mindless and not, being mindful and all that stuff, that's one thing. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to blame someone like that. But if they're doing it purposefully to give you a hard time,
I kind of like it, man. I think that
it's a test for you.
Well,
a challenge.
I think that every single comic, when they get up, should be thinking like, I don't care if it's your best friend going next. I don't care if it's Seinfeld, whoever it is. Like, I'm gonna kill this motherfucker so hard,
Smash
that this dude's gonna have a bad night.
That's
And if you get truth serum in our veins, there was like, no, I respect that. Every time you get up, you're like, I'm gonna try to crush this motherfucker because I want him remembering me.
See, that's the commonality that you guys have with hip hop groups or artists, right?
Yeah.
Most of us, when we're playing a bill, whether it's a festival or a radio show, we all love each other and we got respect for each other. But the first thing on our mind is we're gonna chop these fuckers' heads off.
For sure, dude.
Yeah.
That's the mentality you have to have.
Otherwise, why are you doing it?
Why are you doing
Yeah.
it? Because hip hop is sort of built off competition. You know what I mean? In the early days, who could rock the party the best?
Yeah.
And we constantly keep this in our minds that who could rock the stage the best. I
Yeah.
mean, these guys coming up after us may be, our best friends, but we're looking to chop their fucking head off.
Yeah.
In this moment. After all the stuff, hey, let's pop some bottles or smoke some weed or whatever the hell. But while we're in this setting,
Yeah.
we're cool. But we're gonna go up there and we're gonna make it hard for you to follow us.
Hell
Right.
yeah.
And I believe that the comedians have this same mentality. You just said it right now.
Yeah.
And you have to. If you're
Yeah.
gonna have a great
Yeah.
show, this is something that you have to carry. Like it ain't nothing personal.
No, so I always thought it was funny. It was always something that attracted me about this. When somebody before you would just, and again with these DJs, I'm telling you that these motherfuckers would not only ramp it up, but I mean, you know what I mean? Just add like 45 seconds of, hey, ho,
Yeah.
like imagine that. And they're getting up, get by your seats. All that just to set me up. And like not even put the mic back in the stand, just go, and now, John.
And now the
Walk
white
fuck-
guy.
Yeah, exactly. You walk out with a shovel, like, man, fuck, dude.
Hey, but you know that gave you a different sort of fuel and a muscle to flex after you got past that.
Oh
'Cause,
yeah.
you know, like you came in as the underdog and got the love, and because the underdog always sort of gets the love, you know.
Yeah, it's
And-
easy, man. It's
yeah.
actually easy because you're playing with house money. Because they're not there. They didn't pay money to see you, so they're not really invested. But they don't want to see you. You know, nobody. Because our night's gonna suck if you bomb for 25 minutes
Right.
too. Like, motherfucker, I got a babysitter, paid for parking. I'm $100 in.
Yep.
And
I want. It's like the president. Whether I like you or not, I want it to go well. Like,
Yeah.
I think when everybody has that mentality, the shows end up great.
Yeah.
yeah.
Nobody wants to be the weak link, and everybody wants to be that top dog.
Yeah.
So everybody delivers. There's only when someone ain't taking it serious where they might be the weak link in the chain where everybody killed and that one person was like, oh, well, we could have not used them on the bill or whatever.
Well, and that's what I think makes the Comedy Store unique. Is it's really the only club that I've seen where pretty much any night you walk in the main room, it's literally 12 killers,
Yeah.
and they're all doing 12 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's it. And they don't even have an MC between, piggybacking, just next.
And that's a lot of time to be holding. You know what I mean? Like a minute seems long up when you're on
Hell
stage.
yeah.
Yeah.
So 15 minutes. The equivalent 15 minutes for a rap or hip hop show, depending on if you edit the songs or not, right? That's like, what do you think, Les? Like 5 songs, right?
Maybe 3, 4. I would say.
No, because when you average it out, right, your average hip hop song in the '90s was probably like 3.5 minutes.
Yeah. 320, 330.
Yeah, but if you're doing crowd things and crowd participations, and
That's what I'm saying, like
it's
4 to
gonna
5 songs.
stretch it out.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe 5 on the stretch.
Yeah.
4 for sure.
Yeah, or 5 definitely you could squeeze them in. Boom, boom. That's
Squeeze.
just-
Yeah, you know what? It's 4 because if you do the crowd participation stuff like you said, and you're like,
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
really
say
4
yeah,
songs.
Yeah.
Guy Tori used to, he would come in every now and again. He'd get a little tequila in him. And he'd come into the green room and it'd be the MC and me. I was usually the middle act. And he'd just go, hey, come here, boys. And he'd go, basically, here's the deal. He goes, he'd point at the MC and he's like, your job is to get the pussy to the club on time. Don't get in a car wreck. Just make sure the pussy gets here. And he'd point to me and he'd go, your job is to finger the pussy and eat the pussy. And then he'd be like, my job as the headliner is to fuck the pussy.
Right.
And he'd walk out. And it was the best explanation I ever got, which was like,
Yes.
Yeah.
I hope he doesn't mind me telling that story.
That's some hell of
He might
an
be
analogy.
married.
That's
Hope
an
he ain't like
analogy.
married now. Like, damn, motherfucker, keep that shit.
That was a good analogy, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is, man.
Really.
Yeah.
You know,
Made all the sense.
it made also the
And it
sense.
wasn't.
He-
He wasn't being a dick. He was just reminding you, like, there's one name on the flyer.
Yeah.
One person, everybody paid to see one motherfucker. So come on, like, let's all have a good time. But yeah, and he was
Yeah.
right. He's fucking right.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
man. How do you feel like music and because I haven't seen really anybody do this, but Def Jam Comedy or Def Comedy Jam, they used to like
dude.
you know have Kid Capri
Yeah.
Dude,
Like,
dude,
pop-
this is.
pop
I
off.
can't fucking believe you're bringing this up, dude. I wanted to ask you about this. I swear to fucking God, dude.
Because we're right here, bro.
I know, but I would never was gonna. But everything you said, it's like, why is there no Latino Def Jam
Yeah.
with you as fucking Kid Cut? Because it
I
all
will
started
do it.
when you said at the Ice House, you go, man, I could DJ this, and I was like,
We could do it.
that would be better than fuck.
Come on.
And finding, dude, there's a bunch of funny comics in fucking
Oh,
LA,
yeah.
man.
I mean, just period, right? Like, so Def Comedy Jam experimented with adding the music in
Yeah.
between, like with Kid Capri, and that was everything. Because sometimes,
yeah.
like he like pumped he would only get a small edited segment on the TV, but like it was obviously longer, and he'd rock the party
Yeah.
and get him really warmed up.
Well,
Sorta like that.
he was the extra act.
Yeah.
Like he was as important as
Yes.
fucking comics.
Yes.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, but has anybody ever well, maybe Dave Chappelle did it on, what was that, when he had the Fugees come on to his set and stuff
Oh,
like
the summer the block party.
the block party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I'm thinking something more concentrated where like a comedian comes on and then a hip hop artist comes on and does a set and then
I mean,
and
I've
comedian-
been doing that with Russell Peters and Ali Sher. They, we've been doing comedy shows, and I'm going in between them, and
because I just think that's a sick combination to be
Yeah,
able to
yeah.
do
But
that.
don't you also agree that Russ is like one of a handful of people who could do that?
Yeah.
Well,
oh yeah,
like that dude's skill set is so uniquely
Yeah.
for that.
And knowledgeable
That
of
guy's-
hip hop.
Oh, dude, I
I
fucking love that guy.
I seen
He's
Russell
so fucking cool,
Russell
dude.
rock a show with no jokes. It's just talking to people
Yeah.
in the front. Just
He's
talking.
he's
man.
he's
It's
the
just-
only guy I'd ever met. He did a few of my shows where he would request to be the host. Normally, that's not the gig
Yeah.
you want because you're committed for the whole show because you're hosting.
You got to be there the
You
whole
got to be there the
thing.
whole time.
Yeah.
You're going first. He's the only a guy who does arenas was like, nah, dude, I miss.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then watching him, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I
cool.
think that guy's the shit.
That would definitely be a show I'd be interested to see, though. Like, you know, like where, hip hop artists and comedians are like intertwining the show like that.
I've seen two dudes. Something I've seen twice that worked really well. Once was in Louisville, Kentucky, believe it or not. And I saw it in New York, and it's a comic with a stand-up bass behind him, just like and almost their storytelling. Of course, you have to be a storyteller to do that.
That's a good bit.
But their storytelling becomes, and they get into it, and you're literally, it's like not slam poetry, but not really stand up.
And there's a pace to it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and it's mesmerizing because he keeps that cadence and pace up for an hour, and
Man.
you're just like, by the time, it's like a marionette, dude.
That's badass. I gotta
Yeah.
check that out.
I always want. Did anyone ever catch when Dave Chappelle and John Mayer did shows together?
Yeah,
Yeah.
How? So
Yeah.
What was the dynamic of that? It would be stand up, and then he would come on and play some guitar,
Yes.
and like.
yeah. They would do the belly room of the Comedy Store, and you could like John used to go up and apparently. Because I'll be honest, I didn't know what a great guitar player he was.
He's
He's
dope.
ama- he-
I didn't know it
amazing.
until
Yeah.
like an old buddy of mine was like, "Nah, dude, he's like Stevie Ray Vaughan." I was like, he goes, "Nah, listen to his shit, dude."
He gets more props for banging chicks than he does.
Yeah,
for
because I'm
guitar
like
playing.
the dude from Vanity Fair with his arm up, like
Yeah.
that guy. Which I'm not clowning, that's great. But and then when he became I'm a Deadhead, and so when the Dead picked him up, I go, "Oh, wait a minute,
Yeah.
he must be real good."
I've smoked
Yeah.
weed with him before. I know he's one of them guys. But he's a badass guitar.
Well, that's what I'm sorry I got sidetracked, but apparently he can recreate any sound on a guitar.
yeah.
Like chicken or just whatever. So him and Chappelle would literally just go, it was bad. How that's not a special yet, I don't know. But two geniuses who also were vibing together.
Hey, who knows? That may be their next deal. That would be great. We're manifesting
Be
it
so
for him
great.
right now.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
We're talking about it. We're manifesting it for him right now.
Yeah.
Have you checked out that limited series that Dave Attell and Jeff Ross just did, Bumping Mics?
Oh, yes.
Yes, that was pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
It seemed to me like they were improving their jokes.
Yes.
right
Yeah.
there. There was no
Yeah.
written.
Nah.
Do you guys fuck with Dave Attell at all?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
hilarious.
it's funny.
He's, that's how I know you guys really know comedy. Like, he's what they say is he's your favorite comic's favorite comic.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's like the Talib Kweli of
Yeah.
of
Yeah. When he comes
comedy.
when he comes to LA, people, it's like that great special. Jesus was black and so was Cleopatra, the Paul Mooney. One of my favorite parts of that special is looking at who's in the crowd. Like when
Yeah.
they do the crowd work and
Yeah.
you're like, there's fucking Tommy Davidson, Eddie Griffin.
Everybody
Everybody came out to see Jamie Foxx. Like the crowd came to the Laugh Factory to watch this motherfucker do an hour, man.
He's brilliant with
Yeah.
Dude.
him and Jeffrey Ross going at each other
Oh,
and then making
Yeah.
fun of the crowd. And then there was celebrities. Bruce Willis was in
Yeah.
there. I think this was before his situation developed.
Yeah.
You know, where he was still going and hanging out. He went to go see them. They were at the, I guess it's the spot you guys were talking about the other day in Chicago. What's it called? The Comedy Cellar.
Oh, Zanies or the Comedy Cellar.
I think it's the
Yeah.
Comedy Cellar. Yeah, actually, it was the Comedy Cellar. And they were ripping it. I think they did 3 shows there. Paul Rudd showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Willis, and they had what's his name, Dr. Ken. Yeah, he came up. He got roasted. He didn't belong on the mic because they were giving people a chance to get up on the mic with them. You know, just doing like a 2-3 minute bit, and then boom, fuck off. It's them two again.
Yeah.
And they were just going at each other. It was hilarious.
Jeff Ross is like not only one of the night, just like, you know, there's certain people you get around and their energy, I know it sounds really LA douchey, but their energy is so nothing but pure and positive and just all light, no darkness. That's Jeff Ross, man.
Yeah.
And his ability, he's done a couple of my military shows, and I've seen him roast some vets where it's like,
yeah,
dude.
His roasting ability.
I've watched him going on like 4 Green Berets where I was just like,
minus like, let's just say the delivery, right? Let's just separate the delivery. Do you think he's like the equivalent of Don Rickles right now?
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have the tear you down Don Rickles style, but his roast ability tears you down without him having that aggressive style of Don Rickles.
Well, and he's also, and again, we're not like boys, but I've been around him. He's also effortlessly one-liner funny, old school. You know, like that old school Jewish, just that from that great line of those comics who had that timing starting in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
It's effortless, but it also doesn't seem like he's trying.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, but
it's like it comes natural.
Yes. Yeah. That's Jeff Ross.
Yeah.
And he's overwhelmingly pretty clean, and clean shit's hard to write. So when you hang out with him, a lot of the shit he says is clean, and you're just like, God, that's fucking smart, dude.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
When he was doing the comedy roast for comedy, or the Comedy Central roasts, he was killing it.
Yeah.
They should bring that back, man. That was awesome. Or how do you feel about it?
I don't like watching people who don't know each other roast each other.
That is
not real.
Yeah, that is a problem.
So what I always said is, like, you could literally, if you wanted to film that fucking show instead of that bullshit, you could literally walk into any black barbershop, bring a camera, and listen to about 5 guys who just know each other start joning,
dogging each other,
and because they're boys, like, so when you watch it, and it's not shitting on them, it's just you can't roast somebody you don't know.
You think that's why the Dean Martin roasts were so goddamn funny?
Yes,
because they all knew each other, they all worked together, they partied together, drank, all that.
They were all doing blows, fucking the same girls, like they were in, and you would see it, like they tell a joke about somebody's private life, and everyone would just go.
Yeah. And what's crazy is that when you watch those roasts, not one of them are using any expletives. They're all just
that's the thing. Yeah.
No.
That's the thing about Jeff, is he's not like fuck.
Yeah.
But not only is this shit funny, and not just like a zinger, but it's smart. Where you're like, God damn, that's a brain that. Yeah.
He's quick with his shit, man.
Yeah.
We've been trying to get him over here for the longest time.
He's touring again hard.
Yeah.
Like hard.
Still, he's putting in a lot of work, man. Salute to Jeff.
Yeah,
Doing his thing.
I smoked a joint with him at some show. I'm trying to remember what show that was. He was cool. Hella funny.
I remember we were doing a High Times event, and I was getting some sort of award, or I was performing. One of the two, or maybe both at the same time. I think I was receiving an award and then performing something with Burner that day. And Jeff was there that day. And I was like, oh, shit, you smoke. I didn't even know this. And, you know, we smoked one that night. And then we saw each other at another event, blazed up. Coolest dude, just like you said.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he did a military benefit at My American Legion that I'm a member of. And it was fucking legendary. I had Bill Burr, Bob Saget, and Jeff Ross on one show.
Wow.
Bob brought his guitar, played nothing but 20 minutes of dirty songs that everybody sang along to. So it wasn't like all comedy. It was like this dope-ass variety gong show shit, but it worked. Jeff Ross came out and he just barbecued 5 of these Greenberg, like hardcore combat dudes. Jeff got them motherfuckers up on stage and was just fired up the chainsaw.
Wow.
Everybody's like, fuck yeah, dude. And then dirty songs, and then Burr came in and just leveled the joint.
It's great when it works like that, man.
Yeah, that's what I love about producing shows. I mean, I don't want to make it sound like I'm doing something real complicated, but figuring out people that work together, you know, because you can have 5 comics on a show and it's good comedy, but if you can find the people who where you create the thread of it, where you're
Right.
just like, you saw it at the Ice House, man.
Right.
Like that's
And they all worked.
yeah,
perfectly.
and they were all put in certain places too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like you look at a guy like Ken and you think to yourself like, all right, conventional wisdom says you put the big artillery at the end.
Right.
Then you start thinking about it. You're like, yeah, but if you put Ken second, not only does it shock the system, it puts all the other comics on notice.
And they got to
They're in
step
the
it
back
up.
like, oh shit, all right. So yeah, I love that.
It's like, I
putting
gotta
those-
follow him.
I love putting those puzzle pieces together, man.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it got to be hard when like you're putting gigs together, and I would imagine this has been done by some comedy promoters or whatever, where they'll go for the name as opposed to what would work in the room. Like, in their room.
Yeah.
Right, and they might get like 4 different comedians that there is no common thread amongst them. One guy might hit, or female might hit, and the next one may totally crap out.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on the kind of chops they got in them being able to read the room.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, wow, I got misbooked. This is bad booking here. Okay, let me try. I'm going to have to do this bit
Oh,
instead,
man.
right?
And so that's what to me makes stand-up so easy, is it's the only art form that when that happens to you, you can literally just tell the crowd. You can go, oh, fuck, man, I ain't supposed to be here. And everyone's like, ha ha. It's like, to me, that's easy. Versus like if you're there and you're trying to get that check and still be a professional, you can't just be like, ah, man, this motherfucker's going to suck, man.
Yeah, I mean,
you guys are a bunch of bitches, man. You can't, but you can do that in stand-up.
yeah, you could do that in stand-up. That's
Yeah.
and make it work, make it a part of the bit.
Mm-hmm.
True.
You know what I mean? Like with us, we got to just be like, okay, this is a paid practice right here. We getting paid to rehearse. All right, let's
Hey,
go.
I wanted to ask you about. I didn't mean to just switch gears
Don't
all
worry.
hard. I wanted to ask you about Judgment Night.
Judgment Night. All right.
I don't know if anybody ever brings that up.
The soundtrack.
Yes.
Right? Yes.
So at a very pivotal part of my life. So being from Indianapolis, from the inner city, Cypress Hill, like everybody liked hip hop, but for some reason Cypress Hill connected with metalheads.
Yeah.
There was the skull thing. There
Yeah.
was I remember this very distinctly. I was a metalhead and a skater. And there was something about that first album just with skulls and black, and even the weed looked threatening.
Yeah.
Even the weed plant looked angry, like it was going to stab you. And I just remember thinking like that was badass. And then Judgment Night came out,
Yeah.
and then you had a tie with like House of Pain. There was all this, and then Rock Superstar, like that whole thing.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever consciously think about rock? Are you guys rock heads? Like, how does that work?
Well, yeah. Before hip hop, I was listening to metal. I was listening to a lot of different things, but like how when you have something that you listen to more than like say the other shit you might be listening to, I was definitely listening to what metal was at that point, right?
Yeah.
A lot of Ozzy,
Yeah.
AC/DC, Black Sabbath. Now it's more rockish, and there's a different swing to metal, right? But it was all that sort of stuff, and I believe Muggs sort of was listening to that shit too before hip hop came into our lives, and we all sort of listened to punk rock, metal, and like reggae and different things. We all had this sort of thing in common: funk,
Yeah.
and old school R&B. And so as far as the rock stuff, we were always thinking, well, like the metalheads never show their faces on album covers, at least the ones we were.
Yeah.
listening
Oh, I
to.
never thought of that. That's
And-
so fucking true.
And they used the skulls and the skeletons and stuff like that. No one in hip hop was doing that
No.
yet. So we were like, let's do this. Like,
So that was a conscious.
Yeah, that-
Oh, that's fucking cool as shit.
because that was a world we were from. You know what I mean? We didn't play instruments or anything like that, but we were fans of it enough to be like, well, maybe we should use this type of imagery and go with some darker shit because that's what we liked. And eventually later when we start with let's say it was the Judgment Night soundtrack where we start
Sonic Youth and Pearl Jam. I
Sonic
think.
Youth
Yeah.
and Pearl Jam. That was our first time doing something in that fusion form of hip hop and rock or metal or alternative,
Right.
right? And we felt very normal in this lane. As a matter of fact, after that, Sendog went and created his other band, which was at the time called SX10, and he was doing the fusion of metal with him rapping over it. and it was never a thing that felt foreign to us because we
Right.
we were fans of it before we knew what hip hop was.
Yeah, and the difference is you had Walk This Way, but it wasn't symbiotically melded together.
Yeah.
It was they were doing the whole, fish out of water thing.
Yeah.
But with the way you guys literally the metal was like baked in.
Yeah,
That
it
made sense.
It started with that, and then we started experimenting with leaning with heavy guitars on some of the records, right? And then I think it was at the time we got to maybe Skull and Bones, where we said we're gonna take a chance, and put time into crafting this version of ourselves in the fusion world of
Yeah.
metal and hip hop, which is why half of the album is that, and the other half is just straight up hip hop. But yeah, the Judgment Night album was the first, our first. Step
I love
into
that. Dude,
Yeah.
me and my buddies rocked the shit out of that. I remember that summer, man. It was
Hey,
93.
It's a great album,
And it predates when PE and Anthrax did Bring the Noise.
Oh, yeah.
People think that's the first time, and I'm pretty sure
No.
Judgment Night was
Judgment Night was
I'm right
first.
about that,
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
Judgment
because
Night
we
was
were just like, oh shit, it's Cypress Hill and fucking Pearl Jam.
I think that album right there showed the possibilities of fusing hip hop into metal or rock or a version of it or even punk. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of different groups were birthed right after that, doing this sort of.
Oh, it's no
sort of
accident
combination.
for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was great to see how it all worked. Like Onyx's joint with who was it? Biohazard.
Yeah. Yeah.
House of Pain.
Yeah.
Shit with Helmet.
Yeah,
That was
Helmet.
banger.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
bang.
I mean,
Innocent of the victim.
yeah, that was a hard one. Everybody sounded great
Yes.
over the music. No one sounded like it was
out of place.
out of
No.
pocket. Yeah.
And that album still holds up.
You want to know something funny about that is that people like the album more than they like the movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Say that shit all
Dude,
day.
I can't
Crazy.
tell you one thing about that fucking movie.
Yeah. Nobody trips off the movie as
Is it
much
Jeremy
as
Piven?
Yeah, Jeremy Piven.
That's all I know, but I know the soundtrack, every fucking word. That's great.
Jeremy Piven.
Was there someone with an RV in the trailer?
Yes, Emilio Estevez.
Emilio.
Dennis Leary.
Dennis Leary.
Everlast. He plays
Oh,
one of
that's
the
right.
thugs.
That's right.
And who else? There was one more I'm missing. There we go.
Oh,
There we-
Cuba Gooding Jr.
Cuba Gooding Jr.
Cuba.
I got a pretty good memory there.
Steven Dorff. Oh,
Steven Dorff. That's right.
What up?
Miss Steven Dorff. Sorry,
Hell yeah.
Steven.
OG.
Yeah, man.
So,
But people talk more about the album
Yeah.
because it was so groundbreaking in putting these legendary groups together on both sides.
yeah.
Because, I mean, everybody was pretty heavyweight at that point. And it was just awesome.
Yeah, it was loud. It was loud. I remember thinking it screamed like metal.
But you want to know what
And,
really leaned us towards using the band? Because, some years after that, we start bringing a metal band.
Whose idea was that? That
That was Muggs. Well,
really? No shit.
There's a conversation between Muggs and Everlast that, they both say that this is the idea that happened through them. But,
Interesting.
so it's a toss up on who came up with it first. But we definitely got handed the credit for it, right? And but what prompted us to start taking the band on stage with us, right? We were because we were just doing regular hip hop with not regular hip hop.
Yeah.
But we were doing our version of hip hop with Bobo on percussions, which no one was doing at this point, right? Most people just had the turntables and the rappers, right?
Yeah.
And we were playing big festivals at this point, and we were playing this one metal festival in Madrid where all the huge metal head names were on this shit, right? Korn, Slayer, Sepultura,
Oh, I was hoping you were going to say them.
the Deftones, Biohazard, I believe Fear Factory was on this.
Jesus.
All metal. We're the only and Rage Against the Machine, who we'll talk
Oh, I
about
just
in a
saw, dude.
second.
Heartbreak.
So we had to go on after Rage Against the Machine, right? And these were our boys and all of this, but we knew what they were capable of because
Oh,
we
my God.
we had taken them on tour previously to that years before, so we knew what they were capable of. You know what I mean?
Dude, you talk about a group that could unleash an atom bomb on a crowd.
Yes.
When he would start.
So this is what they did. They went out there and they blew it up, and we're like, oh my God, we gotta follow that. And I was like in my feelings about it, like, God damn it, why did we get booked to go on after them? Which meant we were the headliners. So it was like, I wasn't thinking about it because I was just too young and still sort of green to realize we're headlining this shit. As badass as they are, we're the headliners right here.
Right.
All we gotta do is come through.
Fuck the pussy.
And fuck the pussy. They just finger banged it. Now we got to fuck it, right?
Yeah.
And all this time I was like tripping, about like, damn, their sound on stage was enormous. And, with hip hop shit at that point, it's 2 tracks coming out of the mixer. You can't boost it. Otherwise it gets gainy and it starts in the speakers, right? So there's only so much sound that could come out. It was a psychological thing because really the sound is out there, but I felt like, damn, they just blew this shit out, right?
Yeah.
When we went out, there was another explosion that happened, and I was tripping to see it. You know what I mean? Like the people got up for us.
Well, I'm not just saying this to jock because I'm on the podcast, dude. There was a mystique. I mean, being a metalhead from Indianapolis, I can tell you there was always a mystique around Cypress Hill that none of the other hip hop groups had. It was more. I know that even with like NWN, somehow you guys were more menacing because you were like.
I think because we used the darker rock elements in terms of the visuals, and then some of the music was dark and
very dark.
So
and it the twin things that happened, at least for me, was there's a great special that shows when grunge hit. Yeah. And I think they're interviewing the guitarist for like Poison, Bret Michaels, and he was being super cool. I think he just goes, and the first time I heard this dark, heavy cloud, this new thing that came from Seattle, I listened to it and I immediately knew my career was over.
Done deal.
And you guys hit with grunge.
Yeah, at the same time.
So at the same, you've got the dovetail of all this dark new shit that's kind of hitting our generation, the Gen X thing, and you guys, to me, were always part of that.
Yeah, and the shiny hip hop took a dip after that too, and more raw music, hip hop was hitting, But to circle back on that story, I was sitting here tripping, but we got like the same reaction as they did. Like, people blew up, and so that sort of settled my, my anxieties that I was having, that we had to follow them. And we did great. We had great press about it. People were talking great things, but still in my head was the sound. I was like, after that show, we recruited Sendog's band that like he had put together, for his group SX10, and we had them tour with us to now play the Skull and Bones songs and then translate some of the hip hop songs to, actually doing it live, which is a part of our recording for Live at the Fillmore.
I've seen hip hop groups that I really like do live music and it doesn't work.
Yeah, it does sometimes.
It's hard.
Like, I'm talking about like big names that you love, like not mention names, where you go as a fan and it just, it didn't work. They tried it with a band. I've seen them like add the extra brass and all this. And you're just like, this ain't translating.
You know what it is?
You guys and Public Enemy are the
too polished. It's too polished.
It works.
The big
one, it's too polished. Two, they don't get that some of the samples are pitched up or pitched down. They're always just trying to be in key for real because that's their musicians, right? But if they were to tune to the key of the sample and play like that and learn how to play it like that, it would sound more authentic and less polished, and it would make more sense to people than like, this doesn't sound nothing like the old track. Because some musicians are so wrapped and sounding like the way they were taught. Now, today you have new musicians that know, I got to tune this, hold up to get this particular sound because they sampled it fast at this amount of BPMs, or they sampled it slow, so I got to maybe tune down. They're getting that now, but before, when you would see guys like using a band and it was like, it just ain't
working
because of that part.
I mean, you could also have the right band that knows how to rock your shit and make it sound crazy.
Like the Roots.
Yeah.
Roots. Totally.
Soul Live, we toured with this band. Soul Live is a 3-man.
Galactic.
Yo, they play your shit exactly.
Yeah. Wyclef band too, like the Fugees band, the original Fugees band,
Jesus, so
and then the one he uses now.
Yeah.
Like they are really good at that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They will make it sound very close.
Yeah, Big Daddy Kane just did a live tour.
But not everybody can. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
can't just get players that don't understand that part.
Yeah.
Dude.
You know what I mean? Otherwise, they'll try to like, you know, present it like it's like a typical song they would play on.
Students.
You,
Like, nah.
one of the first times I ever saw like actually it was the first tour I saw Outkast. It was, AT Aliens tour. So it would think they were opening for Ice-T here at the House of Blues.
Right.
And I said they had a sound. I was like, oh man, I thought hearing the record, I was like, oh, it's probably going to be a band. My assumption, you know what I mean? But they came on, they had a DJ with a guitar player and a bass player, and that was it. And just
So you
Andre and Big Boy. And it was so dope because it really did sound like the record. You know what I mean? Like, and it was just, and they were just, man, they ripped it. They killed it. And I was like, oh man, just because, rather than have it, sometimes the drummer doesn't hit the same pocket as the beats on the record.
Right.
And so to hear like the live version in front of you of your favorite record at that time, or your favorite song off the record, it's everything. And it makes you feel more like, oh man, I just witnessed one of the best shows ever.
Yeah.
Because I got everything I wanted and more.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of felt. Not exactly the same thing, but Amy Winehouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She would, so like, just to be a female singer, but she'd have a full band. She'd have them fucking all them black doo-wop old school dudes.
And the
who
horn
were doing
players.
and the horn, like a full horn section.
Yeah.
Yeah, and guitar, like have a bassist.
Like I
She
can't
was
front.
badass.
She was fucking awesome, dude.
I can't front on Roots at this LL Cool J concert. They was playing every LL Cool J like the record, man.
Yep.
I was like, wow.
I'll
they
say
got-
this: the best two bands in hip hop to play hip hop music, the Roots and definitely the original Fugees band,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
You guys ever listen to Galactic? They're basically one of the house bands of New Orleans.
Okay.
no,
So they've put out multiple hip hop albums,
I gotta check them out.
but they're
Yeah.
all jazz. They're funk, and I swear to God, they're the baddest motherfuckers. They got this album, and it's just all these hip hop dudes you've never heard of. But with Galactic, it's called From the Corner to the Block.
I'm gonna
It's
have to check that out.
Fucking incredible.
Galactic.
But then I found out after like 10 years of listening to them, they're all white. And I was just like, what? And I mean like me white. So when I look, the internet comes out. Now I can look shit up, and I go and I fucking see a picture of Galactic for the first time, and I was just like,
Blows
what
your
the
mind, right?
fuck? That's them?
I would imagine that a lot.
Yeah, dude, that's
That's
Galactic.
Galactic.
And they are badder than fuck, dude.
Playing some of the most hip hop shit ever,
Yes,
huh?
but then also Switch, they got tracks with Lenny Kravitz, Trombone Shorty.
Huh.
Just, it's fucking incredible, man. And that was the picture, and I saw it, and I was just
Yo,
like,
John, let me ask you something. You
Yeah.
think ever AIs, humanoids could take over comedy?
did you hear that AI of Tom Brady doing stand-up comedy?
No, I have not. heard that.
All right, I didn't used to think
that
so.
would be funny.
It is, dude. Well, it's funny for a minute, but then it becomes terrifying.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
you're like,
It
we
starts
all
looking
like,
scary.
the fucking
Starts-
Terminator's literally happening, man.
Yeah.
We about to be in the Matrix.
For
We're
Rizzy,
literally
for
doing that
Rizzy.
shit.
We already there.
Yeah, but it's
In there.
literally because like it'd be one thing if you, let's say you took Kevin Hart and AI to stand up with him. Well, that, there's so much material of his, I could understand that. Tom Brady's never done stand up,
Yeah.
so it had the intonation, and it's like it's a 7-minute set of Tom Brady doing stand up, and the jokes aren't bad.
Wow.
That's, I swear to God, that's when I was like, oh man, maybe this motherfucker.
And they were related. and they were related to Tom Brady. Right?
Yes. Yes.
That-
it was
exactly.
literally, and so I laughed for about 15 seconds. I was in bewilderment for about 20. And then I was just crestfallen for 3 days. I'm like, it's fucking happening, dude.
Tom Brady could get into comedy like this, right? He could
Yeah.
do the AI stuff, practice what he saw with the AI, the
Yeah.
pace of it, and then actually go do the set
Yeah.
and possibly kill.
Yeah.
It's all happening.
And then you
That's,
want to
that's
believe.
a crazy thing.
Yeah.
It is. It is. And people don't give a fuck. I mean, and I'm not shitting on it, but people like what they like.
Yeah.
So that could work as a tour.
You know what I was tripping off of this morning? again, KTLA stank ass put me up on game. I hate to say it.
Bring them up a lot.
Kind of doing their job though.
I swear to God, man, I should be doing their job. They never give me no love down there, except for maybe one little minuscule time. Anyway, they were doing a story on how now ABBA is doing a show, and it's all hologram.
Yeah.
But this hologram looked fucking so real, dude.
Yeah.
Dude,
It wasn't like the Tupac hologram
No.
where it was like, it was dope, but it was like, you could tell it's a hologram, right?
Yeah.
This shit right here looked like the actual people at the time that they were in their prime knocking it down. It was amazing.
I don't know if y'all have at least like one or two artists that you're embarrassed, but you're gonna bump it so you roll up the windows. I fucking love ABBA, dude. My mom listened
That's
to
your
ABBA.
guilty pleasure?
I love that shit, dude.
That would be a guilty pleasure right
Yeah,
there, right?
and so I saw that, man. But I fucking ABBA's nice, man. But-
Dancing Queen.
We only have one guy that doesn't like ABBA in the
Yeah.
building. He's not here today. Sorry, Bobo.
Yeah, he's not a fan.
He would be the first in line, someone in the room said.
But I would also completely understand that.
Yeah.
Someone's just like, nah,
That could work in Vegas, that show, right?
Yeah.
It could probably work
Absolutely.
anywhere because there's ABBA fans everywhere.
I would go check it out because I could use a funny, a good light show.
Dude, you
and
know-
the music is dope.
You know
Right.
what would make a great fucking show is the next generation where everyone at ABBA fucked black people, so their kids have funk. And so the next gen, like if you went and saw like a black ABBA cover band and they actually sounded like, you'd be like, oh, this is what it could have been.
This is what it could have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This music really was funky. They just
Dancing Queen.
didn't need Swedish motherfuckers to be trying it.
Yeah. From the Sweden.
Yeah.
Man.
Fine ass bitches too.
Man.
It's crazy how
Shake that ass.
how real it
Show me
looked.
what you working with.
Yeah,
There
I
was-
mean, they
Did you
spent,
see it?
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
some of the imagery of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They
Like the
showed
clips.
they showed it actually running, and it has one of the guys spinning his piano on it and then playing. It was like, damn.
It looked, as realistic as
Right.
the images as you're gonna get, but it's it's pretty rad.
I would imagine you have to sit far back though. You can't be like a front row person and get like the full blown like, oh, it looks
Yeah.
so real. It's probably the further back you are, the more real it looks. I don't know.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
on TV it looked amazing.
On a macro dose, absolutely, I would be up front.
There you
Just
go.
like, whoops.
Now you're getting
You know
close.
what I mean?
Macro
Like,
dose?
that-
Yeah,
now
macro
you're-
dose.
Now you're inching closer to
You
reality.
know what I mean? I want to be then because because then I'll have this perceived depth of everything, and then it's gonna be enhanced, and I'm just gonna be like, yeah, dancing queen,
I want to get up and dance.
give me,
Splash me.
yeah.
Fuck you, Bobo. I'm dancing
You're
with the
missing out,
dancing
Bobo, missing out.
Missing out. He's like, you can keep that shit.
That whole Vegas world is weird, man. I dated a girl who was a the Celebrities Legends show they have where they have people who look almost exactly like the person who's performing. There's a Prince, there's an Eddie, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I dated a girl who was one of them. She was Christina Aguilera. So I got to be around for a hot second, this weird little circle. Like the Michael Jackson would show up. There was a Britney Spears. There was a Freddie Mercury, Tina Turner.
That's surreal, boy.
And bro, they look and act like they are them. Because it's a big Vegas show. And so you're like just smoking a joint, sitting in a room, and all of a sudden you're like, man, this is fucking, this is crazy.
Imagine you were fucking macro dosing for that.
Hell yeah! Freddie Mercury walks in, you're
And
like,
fucking hearing Michael Jackson walk in and just like completely the minute and he talked like me. Just walk out and be like, man, I'm getting sick of this fucking gig, man. This motherfucker don't pay no money. It's just like stealing all his Thriller shit. Like, this is awesome, man.
It would have been great if he spoke in his voice.
Yeah.
This motherfucker don't pay me shit.
sick of this shit.
Sick of this shit. This bitch ass nigga. That motherfucker. He don't pay me my money. I'm gonna stomp his ass out tonight.
I'd have more respect for him.
I'm gonna have to slap this bitch ass.
Buster ass Mark.
I'm gonna have to Tito that bitch.
I couldn't go see no fucking hologram show, man. Nah.
You'd have to really love that artist and think about
I don't know, man. We'll
what
see what happens when like if people in Tool start dying like that, I mean, I don't know. I might just be so sad.
That's the thing.
Amazing.
Abba's
Dude.
still alive.
Yeah.
You know, I think all the members are still alive. So like a
Yeah.
hologram show of them is kind of
They should come out at the end, like, yeah.
like I could see I could see a Bob Marley hologram show.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
The original
There
Wailers?
you go. Yeah.
You ain't never gonna see him.
No.
So to see something like that, I would definitely fuck with that.
I mean, they tried it with Tupac.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
beginning.
Yeah, it's all right.
but what I'm
It
saying
was
is
like,
no. But what I'm saying is the technology is much better now. What they displayed for this ABBA thing
yeah.
is ridiculously
Yeah.
Imagine.
like way above
Next level.
what
Yeah.
they did with
Yeah.
Tupac.
It ain't R2D2 with fucking Princess Leia and shit.
No.
Like, it's some badass.
I think that's the same company that's helping with the Kiss avatars for their digital shows.
Yeah,
Them
when,
motherfuckers.
and when they decide to retire, you're gonna see the.
Hey, let me tell you
something.
something. I've been going to Kiss farewell tours since 1996.
Exactly.
Yeah.
These, I swear to God,
Yeah.
1996.
Same.
Exactly. Meaning
Same.
he ain't
Mark,
gonna,
Madison or Market Square Arena.
they aren't gonna retire. They're
No.
gonna find a way to keep
Gene
doing.
Simmons is the ultimate businessman. I love that about him, dude.
If they perfect the hologram, Kiss will be on tour forever.
Kiss is that carpet store in the hood that has going out of business painted on the side of it.
Yeah.
And it's been going out of business for 35 fucking years.
You think Motley Crue is trying to take a page out of their book? It's because they keep retiring and coming back.
They keep getting that money, dude.
Yeah, man,
the
that's the
bags
thing.
are undeniable.
But I have so much, and I'm so reluctant to clown anybody for not wanting to give up on that, man.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? When people shit on them and shit, it's like,
Yeah.
well, then don't go. They're in their 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're an artist, you never really retire. Some do, like a small percentage really do, but most like they get bored
I'll tell you,
and then or they need a bag.
the Stones were too old.
Yeah.
I love, dude. They're
No, I
they're
hear
the
you.
best. They're the best band of all time. And this last one, I was just like, man, they're just 80.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah, dude.
6 Joe Bidens up on that
Oh
motherfucker.
man.
I mean, not Mick.
that's a
Mick
struggle.
still moves.
Mick still moves.
Mick still moves, and
Dude.
still
It's all that yoga and weed.
and knocking
Yeah.
up 23-year-old Brazilian supermodels.
Yup. Yeah,
that
that
guy.
part.
Hey, I remember seeing them in '97 or is it '96? One of those years, and I remember thinking like, "Oh man, they're getting close." You know what I mean? Like, but it was still all the original members, you know. And then as they keep going, I'm like, "Ooh."
Yeah,
I mean,
I saw him in '93. It was awkward because I ran to my parents. Neither one of us knew we were going. It was the first time I was 16, and I ran into my parents, like literally walking out of the bathroom. I lied, they lied, and but we're both there to see the Stones. So it was kind of like it was one of the few times I didn't get beat.
Y'all did coke together? Like, fuck
Nah, my parents weren't down.
Nah, I'm fucking with you.
No, I know though. I know. I look like they would. I act like my parents
Fuck it,
did
we're
coke.
here now. Let's just
I act like my parents did drugs.
let's party.
They had for honky tonk women, they had these giant like 100-foot inflatable country western bitches with like big tits.
Yeah.
And one of the inflatables, so this is in an arena where the Colts play, it got stuck. And fucking Mick Jagger, so he's still probably 45 at this point. You know them little fucking ladders that go up? That
Yeah.
motherfucker crawled all the way to the top
Oh,
while he
man.
was singing and pulled it. And then he pulled it out and it just goes.
He couldn't get a guy to go do that. He had to go show off and
he
do
was-
it himself.
They were fucking good.
that's
man.
Mick Jagger.
That's Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
What a
Ultimate
G.
showman, dude.
Yeah. I mean, you know,
Dude, that guy's been in the
top-
pocket since 64.
Yeah, man.
in that world, he's top 5 for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, arguably maybe number 1
Yes.
And
because
he-
the Beatles never really had a front man. They were all sort of like, you
Yeah.
know, but the Stones, they had that front man.
Yeah.
Like
he-
the Who had the.
and he
you
get
know.
the bitches too.
Oh, my God.
Oh, that
dude.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was cool.
He was a
Like,
rock star.
Mick,
for
yes.
sure.
Mick Jagger's never, that
Crazy.
dude's been in the public eyes.
Always see him with.
Never seen him have no
eyes.
fucked up bad moment.
No.
He's always,
When you see rock superstar in a dictionary, Mick Jagger's face should be right there.
First one.
He meets all the criteria,
yeah,
checks all the boxes,
Dude.
Yeah.
and he's still doing it.
still
got-
doing it.
And to me, the most of everything, his voice is crazy.
Yeah, his
Oh,
voice
yeah.
is different.
Fuck
He didn't
yeah.
have the strongest singing voice, but it
works it.
was unique,
Yeah.
and he
And
made
you know,
it
man,
work.
when motherfuckers tell me when they get into the and look, I like the Beatles. I love the Beatles. I love the Stones, but my
Yeah.
parents loved the Beatles growing up.
Yeah,
and they try to compare it, and they tell me that the Beatles are better than the Stones. I'm like, man, the Stones been alive. That's a box. Like that goes into the box score as living.
I think they're the two.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And one is not without the other. Like I didn't know this till I did know it that the Beatles and the Stones were like boys like from the beginning.
Yeah,
Like,
no competition. Yeah.
One of the first hits they got in Europe, right? The Beatles wrote for them.
Yeah.
And you know, it popped them off in Europe.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I'm fans of both of them. And when I found that out, it was like, oh, there was no competition. They were like, you know, they were riding with each other through the whole damn thing.
This is a big pie we can all eat.
Yeah, and them two bands were pretty much carving the way for the rest of everybody coming after them.
Yeah.
What was crazy is when they asked Keith Richards, was he listening to any of the other bands coming behind him? He's like, nah, well, I never listened to any of them. I only listened to what I grew up listening to, which was old blues and
Howlin'
things
Wolf
like
and
that.
that's
Howlin'
it, yeah.
Wolf. That's all he didn't listen to any of the bands that were trying to give them run or, you know, taking a run at them.
But I also got to keep it real. I also love Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, Led
and
Zeppelin.
when YouTube comes out and you find out how many old black artists they jacked and then didn't give them any money. So one thing I thought was cool was, you remember that early Metallica? They were a cover band.
Yeah.
And they were doing like Am I Evil, Blitzkrieg, all that shit.
Yeah.
So they admitted, they said, like, we basically went to LA. We were doing them. A lot of them were like English acts and Swedish or whatever.
Yeah.
They were doing their acts. So when they popped, they went back and did a tour with those guys to give them money.
Yeah.
It's like they basically admitted, like, dude, we were 22-year-old kids. We had no idea, but we basically been doing all your songs. But then you find how many tunes Zeppelin and the Stones just jacked.
Yeah.
And gave them nothing, dude.
Yeah.
The motherfucker who wrote, like, When the Levee Breaks, that's my song. That was written in the 30s.
Yeah.
And that dude died penniless.
Yeah.
It's like, man, you couldn't break him off
Isn't
anything?
Yeah.
Isn't
That took a little of the shine off Zeppelin and the Stones for me. A little bit.
Yeah.
Isn't it public domain now when the Levy breaks?
I
Yeah.
don't give a fuck, man. When you got that much money and you know it's like an old fucking, you can't literally go give him 5 points.
I mean, that was
Something.
influence. Like those old blues songs are pretty much what became rock and metal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's why they can't, where they keep fucking up is they try to do these old rock biographies, movies, but they try to have them PG-13.
Yeah, you
Like
can't.
James Brown was burning bitches with crack pipes. I love James Brown. James Brown's bio is R, maybe double R.
Yeah.
Chuck Berry, the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Wilson Pickett,
Yep.
well, you talk about that guy. You talk about a fucking being gay, painted up female gay, and in the South, and being black, and playing rock and roll.
Yeah. Little Richard.
Little Richard, I'm sorry, that's what I'm thinking.
Little
That's
Richard,
what I
yeah.
Little Richard. Yeah.
Little Richard's a bad motherfucker.
Little Richard.
Yeah,
Killing
his
it.
story is crazy. They just put out like a little documentary on him on CNN the other day, and to hear his story, it was
He keeps it real.
he kept it 1,000.
Kept it really real.
Word up. All right, and now we going before we go any further, we're gonna do this right now. Bang.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Ariana from Dr. Greenthumb's LAX. We're located at 5494 West Centinela. Open 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., so come check us out. We got everything you need from flour, edibles, pre-rolls, vapes, tinctures, whatever you want, we got it. So back to you guys at the studio. Happy New Year, and hope to see you guys soon.
Well, thank you very much. Make sure you check out our Dr. Greenthumb locations. We got the gas. All right. At the end of the show, we'll be putting up the address for you to check out the locations that we got popping right now, and more to come. So salute to all y'all. And now we'll get into submissions.
Time. But one, two. Ha, 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 ha.
Big shout out to
Look at
Snacks.
Snacks.
Oh, his gang rolled out on him. Huh?
Oh, damn, they left.
Hilarious. That's hilarious.
Dude, he looks all clean now. Look at him.
Our gang banging hawk. He picked a side.
And also, too, we got a little special message from Cheech right here for you guys.
Hey, Cheech here. How you doing? Happy New Year out there to everybody. I want to tell you to come and check out the Dr. Greenthumb Sunday Smokeout Comedy Show on January 7th at 7 p.m. at the Ice House in Pasadena, the world-famous Ice House. Tom and I used to play that all the time. So grab a chicholata and enjoy some comedy sets by Paul Rodriguez and Ken Flores, Jon Stites, and hang out with my homeboy, Be Real, a.k.a. Dr. Greenthumb, this Sunday, Pasadena, the Ice House.
Ice House.
If you would have asked,
yeah.
if you would have asked me in 1991,
That is,
would I be friends with Cheech, Marin, and Tommy Chong, and he'd be doing a promo drop for us, I would have said, "Get the fuck out of here."
That's amazing.
you.
Right?
And just hearing fucking Cheech Marin say even say my name.
Yeah.
That's one of the coolest things that's ever happened to me in my life.
Salute to Cheech, man.
Yo, speaking of Cheech, I wanna shout out Cheech and give him props. I was just watching Dust to Dawn last night. Yo, if you haven't seen that movie, go back to it and
Yeah,
just
that's a
watch
classic.
it. Yo,
He's a bartender.
crazy.
Isn't he a bartender?
No, in the bar. Yeah, he's a bar. He plays a few different.
Yeah.
Like the cop. He's this guy. He's that
Yeah, he
guy.
plays a few different
a few.
things. in
That's
there.
Right.
dope.
Yeah, salute to Cheech. man.
Salute Cheech.
Yeah.
All right.
And we got Reiki Rabbit up in here, and she's saying she's showing off her balls, she's saying. Check
Oh.
out my protein balls.
That'll get you right.
She's saying
Squeeze 'em.
inside the protein balls is oats, chia seeds, hemp, hearts, peanut butter, pumpkin pie, spice, honey, vanilla protein powder.
All right.
The list of what's in my balls is much shorter. It's only one ingredient.
Only one ingredient.
I don't know if I was supposed to say that. My bad.
It's filled with protein too.
I wasn't, dude. I was teeing it up, man.
I used it. You were right there.
You can't
like,
teach that, man.
Put it up. I had to, crack it out.
Coming soon. Be Real's hot 5-minute set at the fucking comedy store.
Oh man.
We got a little AI art from the Pope saying this is Be Real and Send Dog as park rangers at a weed park.
All
Look
right.
at that.
Yeah, that shit looks crazy. Park Rangers.
That's pretty cool.
Like,
That's a good hip hop name right there.
Park
The
Rangers.
Park Rangers.
Stop people for
Yeah.
not smoking. Be
Yeah.
like,
No, we make people we make people smoke.
you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You
Yeah,
stop.
We
hit
see them
this.
not smoking. We're like, ho, ho, ho.
Lock him in the closet with the whole
That's
bag.
what I'm saying.
Throw them in the closet.
And we got Hi Sally C saying, got this old school classic shirt back in 1992 at a concert in Indianapolis.
I remember.
I love Cypress Hill.
Dude, I remember that shirt.
Yeah. We reissued that shirt not long ago. I think slightly different or a different color font, but yeah, this one went well for us.
It's a good one.
That's a tour shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Way
like,
back.
Can you send messages to the people?
Yeah, well, you could tell them right now. Yeah.
Can you ask if she got it at Barry's on 10th and Arlington?
Where did you get this shirt at?
Probably not. That's probably way too random.
You never know. All right, we'll keep an eye out.
Because they got shut down by the feds.
Oh, they did.
Because they were doing like mixtapes,
Fake.
Oh, wow.
just
Bootleg.
bongs.
A lot of them shot.
just bongs.
Yeah.
Like no grass, just underground mixtape. And the feds, I think they got 20 years, dude.
Mm.
No drugs. That's the mid fucking West, man.
Wow, dude. Over
Guys
mixtapes
from-
and bongs.
Yeah, the guys from Barry's.
It was probably more of the bongs. You like for a minute, you couldn't even go into a smoke shop and say, "Hey, I want a bong." You had to say, "I want a water pipe."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
I remember that.
If
Yeah.
you asked
Yeah,
for a
water
bong,
pipe,
they would
yeah.
kick your ass right out of the shop. Hey, leave now, please.
Yeah.
And you would be like, "What did I do? I just wanted to buy a bong." Hey, stop.
yeah.
Leave.
Wrong answer.
Yep, wrong
Wrong
answer.
words.
You had to know the code. You had to know the code.
Are they still doing submissions?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right, bet.
We got Smokestack Mac saying, I know it's Thursday, but every Tuesday night is movie and mushrooms night at my house.
Hell, that sounds
Saying
rad.
big shout
bro.
to E-Zone.
Movie with mushrooms. Okay.
Hell yeah. What a
Loaded Weapon, underrated. Sam Jackson, dude.
Yo, check
That's
check,
underrated. That people forget that.
check that new movie called The Alpha Test.
On mushrooms.
On mushrooms if you want. Yeah.
Or just-
it's on Netflix or Amazon.
Or just watch that.
yeah, just watch it. I mean, yeah.
In your mushroom movie watching,
You'll
time.
definitely trip on that movie. Yeah, I think you should.
if you should do like if you need a suggestion, Moonwalker from Michael Jackson. Always put that out there. Watch it while you're tripping balls and see.
That's cool.
The genius that was happening there.
Craziness.
All right, next.
We got Midget Mike saying, "Yo, B, I got some more T-shirt ideas for the smoke box."
Look at that.
Oh, that's tight. I saw that.
Fucking gnarly, man.
I saw that on
That
his.
was fire, yeah.
That's badass. That's a tattoo.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
it's an album cover right there.
right.
Man. I see it. The smoke.
Talk about your car only, the whole album.
the whole
My car.
First, I'm gonna talk about the rims.
Smoke box.
Then I'm gonna talk about.
My speakers. The loudest.
Then we'll talk about my brakes,
My rims.
my electric windows. All right.
We got Pon up in here saying, "Exploring outside in New Zealand. Hope everyone has a good day."
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
New Zealand.
Have a great day.
Australia, mate.
No, that's
Cheers.
a different spot. That's their neighbor.
Yeah, it's like
This guy is a Kiwi. You're talking about the Aussies.
Don't be a cunt.
That too. All right.
Wise words. We got McLevin up in here saying, "I wore my same team hoodie when I went to Knott's Merry Farms."
Same team. All right.
He's saying, "For anyone who asked about it, I told them to go to flavorsbyezone.com, and I got my tickets for Smoke Out Sunday to see Paul Rodriguez on January 7th.
Awesome.
Dope.
Shout out to McLevin.
Have some comedy in your life, man. It's good for you. Laughing is good for you.
Hell yeah.
it is.
Speaking of which, I wanted to ask you, man, like one of my, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I like when Howard Stern does the segments where he asks TV and movie stars what roles they didn't get that they regret.
Yeah.
Like I like listening to hear like, oh no, they actually wanted me for some show. And so one of the bummers, I was listening to you on Vlad some time ago. One of the only bummers about getting to know a little bit about you is when I found out you were supposed to be Hector,
Oh, yeah, on Friday, yeah.
I can't watch that. Like to me, it always used to be the perfect movie, and now that I know that, it's like 99% where you're just like, bruh, if they would have had. So look, I know you've had a million opportunities. I know you have to pass on things when you're on the road. Do you still think about that and go, man?
Every now and then I thought about that. You know what I mean? Because like it was a conversation he and I had, and I said I'll definitely make time to do this, and I specifically told my manager at the time, hey. He asked me to be in this movie. Don't book any tours in this time, right? And I'm waiting for him to hit me back about the part, getting the script and all that shit. And so I follow up him, and he goes, "Yeah, your manager told me you guys were going to be on tour." I was like, "He what?"
Oh fuck!
I said, "Well, I'm not doing none of that stuff. I'm gonna keep my word to it." And he goes, "Well, we already hired another actor. We can't just fire him." Because of union laws and all this other stuff. And we're like,
Damn.
I got so pissed off at my manager. I shortly after that fired him.
But you didn't know it was going to be what it fucking was.
No, I was more like looking at like my homie asked me to do a solid, and I wanted to make good on my word. And then at the same time, you're in a movie with Cube. You know what I mean?
Plus, it's a great role,
and then,
dude.
And then
fucking hilarious.
And then to see what it became, I was like, this motherfucker.
I bet, dude.
You know what I mean? My manager at the time, and I ain't gonna give him no love by saying his name, asked me out of that role. And then I made sure he canceled that tour out of spite. But it really was it came back on me because it's money I lost. Because
but just like watching what it became and going like, man, I should have been.
Yeah, that was the one I missed. There was a swing that I never got to take.
I like that movie for one reason. I see the old school West Coast. Old school.
It's a
timeless,
timeless classic. It's always fun.
That's why I'd be all like, "Fuck Hector."
Motherfuckers drinking 40s
and you can catch little things. Like I'd been watching that movie for probably 15 years, and I remember just randomly noticing for the first time that the first time Joy calls him from the bedroom, "Who the fuck you go to the movies with?" If you look, there's a dude in bed with her.
Yeah,
you can see some Tims. Like it's quick, but you're like, that makes it. I've been calling my friends like, "Oh my god, dude!"
Yeah, man.
That makes it even funnier.
Every scene that she's on the phone with him, yeah.
That whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
Dude, it holds up so well.
Yeah,
it's actually just gone up and up and up. I think it's my favorite. It's like that and Caddyshack are my two favorite comedies.
Classics,
ever.
both of them.
Caddyshack, dang.
Yeah.
I still watch both those motherfuckers. And
You could watch those at any point
Yes.
and finish them wherever you started.
Caddyshack, is that Rodney Dangerfield?
Yeah.
Yo,
Chevy
he-
Chase.
Yo, he's
Chevy
one of my
Chase
and
my
Bill
favorite.
Murray.
Oh, yeah.
he's one of my favorite.
and old dude, gray-haired guy. What's his name? He was
Ted Knight.
Ted Knight.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. He was
Wow.
hilarious.
funny.
Yeah.
All right, next one.
Next up in here, we got Gracie
Oh,
Ellis
shit,
saying
sorry.
big shout out to
Of course.
Joey Diaz. He had Cypress Hill on for the album of the week.
Awesome. Uncle Joey.
Uncle Joey's the shit, dude.
Yeah,
Cool.
he is the shit. And that cocksucker smokes a lot of weed.
We got Reiki Rabbit up in here saying, check out this cool ass bong. It has some crystal healing vibes.
Whoa.
Oh,
Would
that's
love
tight.
to see a funky flip this one.
That's badass.
That's pretty rad looking.
That's right. And you get vibes with it.
Dude.
Nice color.
Healing vibes.
I would imagine cleaning it would be
Oh,
a little
yeah.
pain in the ass.
A little bit.
But looks great.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Amazing.
I wouldn't even use it. I would just put it somewhere.
Yeah, that's vibes to you, bro.
Right.
Unless you really had to use it.
Unless you had to, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I'm going to use this fucking thing.
On an island somewhere with nothing else. Like,
Yeah.
Trying to show off and shit.
You guys smoke bongs? People
Yeah,
smoke them?
that now
They
and
popular
then.
anymore?
I used to, but I don't really hit them anymore.
They smoke the
We-
flippers.
When we're gonna flip, like you know,
Yeah.
we do the concentrates and then use this gravity piece right here called the stun. You flip it, the smoke as this is pushing down, the smoke builds up here. You take a hit.
And the Godzilla.
Yeah,
Call that the crippler, man. That
this
motherfucker.
this right here we don't even want to even look at.
You guys forgot about this.
Oh, yeah, exactly,
It's
'cause
getting
there's a-
kind of dusty over
There's
there.
a reason for that.
Yeah, dude, that thing's heavy.
Yeah, that's heavy.
It's like that unrefined
Heavy,
artillery where it's like, oh, we got smart bombs now.
This
dude.
is Darth Sidious right here.
Ooh.
Destroy your whole being right
Yeah,
Gotta bring it
destroy.
back.
Fuck that.
next.
We got Tennessee Jed. He's showing off his cereal milk, saying a little bit longer to go.
That's frosty. Yeah, you're pretty close.
They're great.
It's a nice Christmas tree there.
And Tennessee Jed's also saying it's time to take some dabs.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah, that will get you stoned and taste incredible.
Cali Blaze is going
That
crazy
was
right
great.
now. Watch.
That's the real drip.
And next up in here, let's see, we got JK all the way from Scotland saying we got a new run going with the grow. Got some White Widow, Runt, and Acapulco Gold.
Nice.
Old school.
Keep on them.
Yeah.
Make the ladies shine.
Runs.
Mm-hmm.
And then, John, I got this video sent to me by Pedro. Did you kind of want to talk about it before we play it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's me doing stand-up in Spanish and English.
Oh, all right. Bolton, you should take notes here. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to give him some lessons.
¿Cómo the fuck pasa? Que un pinche gabacho que parece insurreccionista de 6 de enero habla como un pinche chicano. By the way, that's like the perfect thing. That's what I want to put on my Latin dating singles profile. Like, aquí tenemos John, 6 de enero afuera, 5 de mayo adentro. Hey, suavemente. Tear up some brown pussy.
Always take it a little too far. That last part was so unnecessary.
See, Bolton,
I don't
take
think,
notes.
I don't think so.
Bolton, take notes. We've been trying to teach him up there. You know what I'm
He
saying?
speaks better Spanish than like most Spanish speakers I run into.
Do you hate watching yourself? I can't stand watching myself. It makes my skin crawl, dude.
It's
Ugh.
tough.
That's cool, man.
Like it's sometimes I'm for it, you know, like if I'm trying to see what I did wrong or right there, if I'm trying to remember a bit that I did like just
Yeah.
you know, out of nowhere, then I'll watch it. But normally once we do it, I try not to watch it.
Same.
Whatever feedback comes is
I like
good.
to watch it to learn from it.
Yeah. If there's something that I noted as we were doing it, like, oh shit, I need to check this out.
Yeah.
See how that worked.
We were just talking about that last night. The only actual work in stand-up is when you get to a point where you have something coming up where you need to start recording, and then you gotta go home and listen to your shit on
And
your
watch
phone.
yourself too.
Yeah.
But for like hours.
Listen to the pace, the
Yeah.
delivery.
And
and-
actually write, like you may have a gig, TV or something. You actually have to write jokes.
That's what makes you the best, man.
Oh, yeah.
Shit.
You know.
Yeah, man.
I think
those
that's
guys.
what keeps the tools sharpened always, is that you're constantly working at it. Even at the times you're like, God damn it.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, because the best stand-ups, that's really all they do, because it's really all you can do to be great, great, great.
Right.
So when you look at Burr, Chappelle, let me see, like they're not actors, brands, all these different products and shit. They only do stand-up except for some other projects, and that's what keeps them. Because you imagine if all Kevin Hart did was stand-up, if all his effort, as funny as he is, if he took all that time, all those other million things. One of the biggest movie stars, all these brands, and just channel all that shit in the stand-up. Fuck, dude.
Oh, yeah. He'd be hard
I
to
hope
touch.
that didn't sound like I was dissing him.
No,
Like,
not at all.
Oh, yeah, like.
No. He'd be hard to touch
Yeah.
if all your focus was on that one thing.
Because he's so fucking like Eddie Murphy level funny.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Yeah, he's
Nah,
hilarious.
Kevin is funny. You know, he's definitely
Yeah. And you
Eddie
never hear
Murphy status.
and you never hear a bad word about that fucking dude. Not
No.
one.
He does a lot of great things, man.
Yeah.
That's for sure. You got anything else?
Nope, that seems to be it.
Thank you for the submissions. Keep them coming to brealtvcontest@gmail.com, and we will put them on as you know. If you're in the room with us and you are getting down with us, smash that like right now. If you are not subscribing, subscribe. If you're new to this shit, welcome. Share it out. Become a part of the community on a consistent basis. We do this Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 Eastern on the start. And after this show is the Dr. Greenthumb Mix Show, Monday through Friday as well. You can catch that on Twitch at B_RealTV or right here on YouTube, BeRealTV2. All right. Become a member of that site, subscribe, all this, and you could catch the mix. Or if you're a full member of our home site, www.bereal.tv, you get all that shit in one. So become a member. All right, and with that, we're going to open up the doors to the Insane Asylum. That means y'all, if you got a comment, question, shout out, suggestion, here for it.
Welcome to the Insane Asylum.
All right, let's do this. Also, remember, put hashtag BeRealTV in your super chat to be entered to win a free pair of tickets to the Sunday Smokeout Comedy Show in Pasadena. And be real, every time people see this flyer, they think you're going to be doing a comedy set.
Oh, yeah.
The chat room keeps saying it.
It's coming. I'm telling you.
They're trying to manifest this.
Not for nothing. A lot of people, what's Be Real doing up there? I was like, nah, he's gonna be chilling. He might talk some shit on the mic or so. Who knows?
I'm gonna say hello.
Whatever,
Hello. I'm gonna sing him a Lionel
Is it
Richie.
me you're looking for?
I'm gonna sing him a Lionel Richie song, son.
That'll
That'll be funny enough.
You'll kill him with that one.
So, as oh, they're still doing it.
Go ahead.
Has any part of you ever thought about doing stand-up? Ever? Or even like looked at it and been like, ooh, that looks fun, or that looks like cool, or
It looks hilarious, and at times I thought I could probably do it if I put time and effort to it. I just never tried, because I know that's a different art form. You got to have specific chops for that. You know what I mean? The timing and telling the story or the joke or the story that leads to the joke. And yeah, I think if I put my time into it, I could probably do it. I just never have.
yeah, because when you start hanging out with you're like you kind of see it. Like,
Well,
you're actually a super mellow, funny, quick.
Well, here's the thing, right? When Bobo and I, who is not here today and who hates ABBA,
Come on, Eric.
we used to do this mix show in 90, I think from 96 to 98 or 99 or whatever, and we would kind of do it like a morning show where we were writing skits. So I would write all the sketches, and then we'd do the voiceovers for it. There was no video then, so it was all very voiceover based type shit. So it's the imagination is popping while you're listening to it. And I would write all the sketches for it. And the show was every Friday, and I always had to come up with like maybe 4 to 5 sketches for the show, and they were pretty elaborate. Would you say that, C?
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
and so in that time, I realized that I could do funny stuff. And I even thought, man, I could write for Saturday Night Live if they gave me a chance. But I never.
So, question. Let's say 4 or 5 comics you've seen that you fuck with came to you and they were like, dude, we're not talking about writing an act for you. We're talking about writing 5 minutes with you. So your fans could get you, and no one's. No, listen, hear me out, man. I've seen this shit happen with some stars who are actually funny, and people go, "Hey, man, we'll sit down, we'll write you 5 minutes, we'll get you up at one of the shows." And you're not out there like, "Hey, I'm a great comic." All your fans know, like, "Dude, I'm getting ready to fucking try this crazy fucking." I think people would like it.
I see B already right now on stage smoking a fat.
Yes,
yo,
yes.
I could probably do it if I put my mind. No, let me rephrase that.
Yeah.
I could do it.
Could definitely
if I put my mind to it.
And it's not like you'd be disrespecting anything. People would come to you because we'd want to fucking see you do it.
I'll consider it.
We'd be like,
and they're gonna smell that,
John.
That
I will consider it, John, because I take that shit serious. You know what I mean?
That shit would be awesome, dude. That would be awesome, man.
Yeah, well, you know what? One of these times when I get the sketches, because we digitized a lot of the sketches that we were doing on the radio show, just to have them on archive to like hear them back every now and then. When I get them together, I'm gonna play.
You know, it'd be fucking incredible. Imagine if you did like Be Real's Pee Wee Playhouse, and it was this whole crazy side of his brain creatively. You could still see the Cypress in it, but you're like, oh, but this is his thing. That would be cool as shit.
Greenthumb Playhouse.
I think a lot of people would fuck with that.
Greenthumb Playhouse, absolutely. I'll get into character with that one. All right, next one.
We got Ask a Bum in the super chat saying youngins don't care if their favorite artists are stealing. I've shown a bunch of college kids that Olivia Rodrigo is a ripoff of Jewel. They don't care.
They don't.
Yeah, they don't.
No, I mean, look, Coldplay apparently stole a couple songs from some artists that hadn't been on yet, and people were totally cool with that. No one like dogged them for it at all.
Wow.
Come on. I got fans that come to me and tell me, "Oh, I like that J-Lo beat that you guys got," and I'm like, "Word, that's fire."
Oh yeah, word.
Oh yeah.
I think and correct me if I'm wrong, what's interesting is when it goes to court there, because I remember the first one that ever really brought my brain to it was who's the fucking white dude who jacked Marvin Gaye? The
Robin.
Robin Thicke.
Yeah, Robin Thicke.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Robin Leach.
Son of Alan.
I was too, man. I was thinking, lifestyles of the
It's Robin, son of Alan.
Robin Leach.
Son of Alan.
I was like, dude,
son of Alan. Alan's son.
Alan's son.
that set up a stoned red flag in my brain. My brain was like, man, you might be too high. Don't do that. Don't do that. But when I heard those two songs together and I was reading about it, and they apparently have experts who can it's not just does it sound alike. They're literally will break down the different chords, the type of music.
Right.
Musical experts will come in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Absolutely they will.
like-
with sample challenges and everything.
Is there any music that is totally original?
Dude, yeah.
I mean, I love Tool, but you hear King Crimson, Pink Floyd, Rush.
Everybody use not everybody, but like in music, people have used chords and keys. They play different variations of them. That's why you can't copyright a chord or a key or anything like that, because everybody uses them. It's just how you use them. You know what I mean? And everybody has a different sort of flip on it, and that makes any sort of music. Like there's this book on a certain key that producers used, that there was always a hit when they used that particular key in the music. Babyface talked about it somewhere, and some other big producer where they were like, yeah, using these particular keys together is a formula for
frequencies.
Yeah. And it's the frequencies within those keys that are more appealing.
Uplift the crowd,
Yeah. And
makes you happy and you feel nice, you know.
But everybody has their different variations, because he mentioned that there were other artists that did songs in those keys with these particular notes, but they all played different shit, yet still they got hits out of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me, but I could see that being a thing. All right.
We got one happy mama in the super chat saying, we want to say a big happy birthday shout out to our son Space High up in the chat. We love you and we are proud of you.
Hell yeah.
Salute.
Space High.
Cheers.
Happy birthday.
We got Wally G in the super chat saying, Plan B, real-time pivot in music and comedy.
That would be a hell of a pivot.
I like Plan B. Like I like that part. That motherfucker's a lifesaver. Iced tea, no Arizona iced tea, abortion, and the only two things that ain't never changed price in my whole life: 99 cents and $4.99.
Oh yeah.
We got Plan B, Plan A.
Yeah.
We got Roger asking a question for John. How was it like meeting Mike Tyson on a surprise joke on Jimmy Kimmel?
I really don't like those motherfuckers, man, because I live right around the corner and I walk to the gym and I walk right by the Walk of Fame where they're always filming and I never agree to do anything. And the other time there's a guy, I don't know how much, he said, do I need to be quick?
No, go ahead.
No.
They were fucking with people who were looking at their phones crossing the sidewalk, and there was a dude on a bike who had a fucking train horn. And he would ride by and just go, what? It would scare the fuck out of you, man. And then I turned around, I was really going to hit this dude. I almost dropped my phone. I was so mad. I go, dude, what the fuck? And he goes, I'm with the city. And I was so just thrown off. So normally I don't do it. And what this dude does, he goes, hey, man. And I go, man, 6 years I've been walking by these dudes. They've always tried to get me for something.
Yeah.
And he goes, they want to talk to you about boxing. And I was like, oh, okay, it worked. Because I was like, oh, okay. And we started talking about boxing. He's like, who's your favorite boxer? Da-da-da. I didn't know what he was trying to get me to do was admit that I could take Mike Tyson.
Right.
So they could bring him out and it would scare me.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm just like, what the fuck are you even talking about? Like, I was like, what? And he's like, you're a big guy. You take Mike. I'm like, what? I go, dude, he'd knock you into another fucking area code. Like, I don't. So people think that was staged. If you look at the comments, there's a ton of people. It fucking was not.
And it was not. They caught you.
Probably one of the only people I've literally ever been completely starstruck of, where I was just like, oh my, it was fucking Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Kid Dynamite, dude. That motherfucker.
yeah.
I mean, yeah. You got to be in awe of the champ.
Oh, dude, I was just like, so that reaction is 100. When I got all red, that was 100% accurate.
Yeah.
I was
All right.
like, Mike fucking Tyson.
That's Mike Tyson, man.
Oh yeah.
Legend.
And we got Wally G asking the table, what's the minimum time for rocking a live party?
The minimum time for rocking a live party. It depends how long they asked you to DJ for.
Yeah.
If you're the DJ of the night,
Yeah.
it's till the lights are out,
2
baby.
o'clock.
Till the people pushing.
5 o'clock.
It's really if you're doing a club, right? Most clubs got to shut it down by 1:30. So probably about about 1:30, right?
Yeah.
You start playing that "Get the Fuck Out of Here" songs.
Yeah, you
Unless-
ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Unless you're doing the after hours, then
It could be 3 to
You'll
4
be-
hours.
to 6.
If it's a club, if it's like someone's party, it might be 2 hours or longer.
Yeah.
And if you're sharing a gig with another DJ, it could be anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. It just depends.
How much money you get? I always loved them. Like, there's a lot of comics who love it so much that they'll do like an hour and a half and 2 hours. I always like the old school dudes that 59 minutes and 58 seconds, they're dismounting and looking at you like, I'm not getting paid anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I get paid to do an hour. Why am I going to give away? And I remember hearing that, just being like, that's hilarious. That's such an old school.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fucking A.
Yeah.
And we got a random super chat from the Pope. He's asking the table, in your opinion, why do rich people have the highest suicide rates? Also, do you think Keith Murray could have been the next Nos if not for his vices?
That's a crazy double question there.
Yeah.
Very creative.
What was the first one?
Interesting.
The first question?
Why do a high rate of rich
people,
folks
yeah.
commit suicide?
It's too much for them. They can't handle it.
Yeah, it's a lot of.
Or they realize it doesn't buy happiness.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
they still get
They
depressed
realize
and
they still
heartbroken
fucked
and
up.
sad. Yeah.
Or what it took to be that rich person. You know,
Yeah.
That's true.
Some people might not be able to live with themselves, or sometimes, just like the song says, more money, more problems.
Yep.
Damn,
and the
just
weight
thinking
of that.
Yo.
Yeah, I'm right there today. You know what I'm saying?
Saying.
One can never know because everybody's individual thing is their own thing, right? That one rich guy, he might have different problems than the other rich guy, but
Yeah.
sometimes that result is the same. But you could never really know.
Yeah, man.
Whatever it is, right? Whether you got money or not, seek help.
And Keith Murray's great, but he ain't Nas. Like even I can answer that second.
Yes.
Even the guy in the Guns N' Roses shirt can be like
that one. That one I had to laugh out loud for that one.
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
Hey,
come
no,
on.
Keith Murray is dope, but to put him next to Nas, regardless of his vices or not, no, he wasn't on Nas's level,
No, but he was dope.
but he was dope.
But Nas
He was
is,
dope.
Nas is
He's-
on Rose. He's on
Yo,
fucking
he's
Rushmore.
Keith Murray. That's it. That's Keith
Right.
Murray. Ain't nobody Keith Murray.
That's
Keith Murray's
real.
the one and only.
True that.
Real deal.
And we got OG Tone 13 saying Lambs versus Niners this week, B. We number 1.
Can't dispute any of that. You
does
know
that
what I'm saying?
mean?
My team's struggling by right now. The Rams, they got a wild card in, but who knows? We'll see when the time comes. But hey,
You
congratulations.
stay up with football?
Yeah.
and all that shit?
I'm a Colts fan, but the Niners have been fucked by quarterback play. The last they have such a deep championship roster.
Yeah.
Like when you look at from top to bottom, and now they got that kid who's the last pick of the draft, Brock Purdy. So that's easy to root for. But I remember that and it was at the MC Championship game where the quarterback goes down, the second guy comes in, tears his shoulder, then the next guy gets knocked out, and then they have to bring the guy with I don't know.
The curse of Joe Montana, son.
And I grew up watching Montana and Rice, and I love those Niners.
When they shipped his ass off to Kansas City, man, that was
With the grapefruit on the elbow, man. Those were sad times, man. Still going to the fucking
remember that
AFC
shit.
Championship game. He
Yeah.
lost, but he got it there.
yep.
We
But-
got Rusty Shackelford saying the Asylum wants 3 plates Tommy on the show.
Oh, 3 plates, Tommy.
That's in the super chat.
Hell yeah! What up, Tommy?
Word. All right.
And we got Michael Jackson up in here saying, make fun of my voice now, foos. I'll haunt your ass.
Dang, he said just like that, huh?
I'd probably start with the kid fucking if we're gonna really get on mic, and then a distant second would be his voice.
Yeah.
Hey, my wife fuck kids.
I mean, that would be kind of scary. You in your room and you, hey, I'm here.
Or if you heard the hee.
And then he squeezes your balls too. I'm really scared. Like, yo, what's going on?
Yeah, that would scare me too.
Would be
Startled me. And scared me.
Like,
unfortunate.
Like, yo, we could talk, but no squeezing balls here. We could
But it's
talk.
also Michael Jackson. Not scared, but startled. Like, I
that's
could get into this. Give me a
Scared
second.
and startled. You might utter the sound. Hee.
Why?
Give you a little hee.
Yeah, that's
Like,
what I'm saying. Yeah, no. No, I'll pass on that.
We got Tony B saying, be cool and stay stoned. And we got Mad Ways up in here saying, salute to the greatest show in the world.
Yeah.
We
Mad
appreciate
Ways,
it. Mad Ways.
Salute.
We got Wally G in the super chat saying, be comedy. That's my 2024 prediction. He's going to drop comedy bars.
Let's do it.
Oh my God, so much pressure.
We got Benny P up in here saying, perfect way to kick off my birthday week. Thank you to Be Real TV.
We appreciate you. Thank you for being here with us.
Happy birthday.
And we got Shane B asking John, what is your Mount Rushmore of comedians?
Oh, that's easy. Richard Pryor, Bill Burr, Dave Chappelle, and Chris Rock.
Boom. Hard to compete with that for, man.
And if I could put one more on there, it'd be Carlin.
Yeah.
What you think about what you think about Andrew Dice Clay? He's been
I don't
making
wanna-
a comeback.
Dude, the fucking Dice Man. That was the first. Him and Kinnison were the first things where you were like, it's
Yeah,
almost
him
like
and
you guys
Kinnison,
were
yeah.
so different. You're like, what the fuck?
They were real edgy.
real edgy,
Yeah.
dude. That fucking Hickory Dickory like, everyone knew that.
That shit was hilarious.
If you see Andrew Dice Clay, it's just like still he's got that
He's
aura
funny.
of
He's
like,
still-
dude, that's the Dice
yo,
Man.
And yo, he's mad funny with that fucking cigarette all the time,
Yeah.
holding it.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
I love listening to interviews with him too. Like,
Yeah.
I like listening to him talk. I like listening to him on podcasts.
when he goes on Stern,
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Rest in peace, Sam Kinison. He was a
Oh.
genius.
His scream was one of the
Amen,
funniest.
dude.
Yo,
Dude.
a lot of drugs.
That too. A lot of,
That bit about necrophiliacs where he's like going through the dead guy's head as he goes, he dies. He's like, all right, at least it's over. Now I can relax. Death wasn't so bad. And all of a sudden, like, what the fuck? Oh, you fucking me in my ass.
oh man, that
shit
was hilarious.
I was in
my
7th
God.
grade. I saw that
Dude.
motherfucker, dude. I've never forgotten that.
Yeah, I mean,
I've never seen anything
I can't tell you how many times I watched that set. That was hilarious.
Dude,
Hilarious.
one of the
dude.
best.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, rest in peace, man.
Rest in fucking peace.
For sure.
We got Megan saying Beck's Loser is basically the Beatles' Hey Jude.
Hey Jude.
I guess. It's very artsy in this way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kinda.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's in-
That's I gotta listen. Yeah. All right.
We got Darren up in here saying, or no, we got Grimace saying, damn, one of my favorite jokes of Kings of Comedy was stolen.
You know, before seeing the side by side, it would have been allegedly.
He
right?
closed with that joke. It was his closer. It murdered.
Yeah.
I've watched that shit a million times.
I would have said fuck off until I seen that footage, and then I saw the footage side by side, and you know, Cat did it first.
Did he do the turning the volume up and down?
All that
Oh.
with the music,
So the whole
the whole
But
bit.
you know what?
It just wasn't a spaceship
He thought, you know what he
set
thought?
up. You know.
It was
no YouTube.
It was 2 years later or something like that. He was like, ain't nobody remember.
Well,
that
that's
joke.
what most those type of dudes think,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Well, I
people
don't
forgot
want
that
to
joke.
say.
Let me bring it back.
I don't want to put down Cedric the Entertainer because I think he's great, but like to hear that and then hear about that and then actually see it, I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
You know, it hurt.
Because they asked Chris Rock once, they said, what was your hardest follow ever? And he said it was following Cedric the Entertainer in Oakland on fucking New Year's Eve. Even Chris Rock just had one, and it was that dude was so powerful.
He's killer. Yeah.
Killer. So he didn't even need. That makes me sad, man. That just makes me sad because I love that guy.
I was a
Love that
trip
dude.
because you know Cat Williams talks a lot of crazy shit, so you're thinking maybe he's talking some crazy shit, but when you put his footage next to that one, it's like, damn.
I like Cat. He keeps it. You know.
This is how
I like both of them. I love
Yeah.
both of them, but to hear about that, it was pretty.
And this is how crazy Cat Williams is. 2 specials ago, he films it in Jacksonville. Now, if you're filming like if you're doing a club for the first time, you might make like a little Jacksonville joke, but it's the same joke. You just change the city,
Right.
right?
Yep.
But you don't do that if you're taping a special.
Right.
Cat Williams wrote 25 minutes of jokes about Jacksonville. If you go back and watch, this motherfucker's filming his special, and he had 25 minutes of Jacksonville shit. He's not from Jacksonville. He just did that.
He just did it.
And Kepka's like, this dude's crazy. He
Be
does it.
writing. He be writing.
He just does this like it's not an act, man. That guy is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
He's fucking
Salute
awesome.
to Cat. You got to get him over here, man.
Hey,
Yeah.
god damn.
Word up.
Let's do it.
What
we
else
got
you
Hybrid Cypher up in here saying, peace to John, amazing t-shirt, dude, and great show today.
Yes.
Thank you very much, man. This has been unbelievably fucking humbling, man. It's been cool.
We got Midget Mike saying, yo, salute to Les. Can I get a yo boy? It's your boy, Sweet Tea.
Hey, yo, this is raspberry iced tea. Iceberg, West Coast.
That was good.
Really good.
The raspberry
good.
flip.
It's getting better.
Yeah.
Like the raspberry flip. That was-
Hey, yo, this is raspberry iced tea.
Hey, yo, this is green tea.
Greenthumb tea.
Hey, yo.
We got the Pope again asking, who wins a rap Olympics between Wu-Tang and Bone Thugs?
A Wu-Tang.
Tank.
But, you know, it just depends the style on they use it. Because, I
Yes.
mean, I think Bone Thugs would surprise you.
Yeah. Bone Thugs is Bone Thugs. They thug. They thug it out. They
Well,
got
no,
them
man.
joints.
I mean, if you've seen Bone Thugs live, man, they kill it.
I have a picture on my Instagram. I don't ever bother celebrities, but I was at the gym, and Method Man's big.
Yeah, he's
Like I'm
6'3" or
well, and
something
he's
like that.
fucking ripped, dude.
He's been working out.
So
like
I'm
crazy.
looking at, I'm like, I know who the fuck that is. I was wearing a Wu-Tang shirt. And fucking Method Man's working out next to me. And I was just like, yeah, man, I don't normally do. So I just waited and he turned around and I just went. And he was cool, man. He came, he's like, he just goes, come on, motherfucker. Like, I was like, I'm sorry, man. If any other shirt, I wouldn't have hassled
Hey,
you, man.
Man, that's my boy right there, man.
Universe don't make
They're
no
so good.
mistakes, B.
Right,
You
right.
know what I'm saying?
Salute to Meth, man. That's, you know,
Shredded.
he's
He's
put
huge.
work in.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
That's the only reason I wasn't sure it was him. Because I was like, I know that's him, but he was
Yeah,
jacked.
he's swole up in the last 2-3 years.
Good.
Brolic.
Yeah, he looks
Yep.
good, man.
And that seems to be it for Super Chats, but I found this video. We need to get John up in here to do some cooking.
Man.
What you got there?
Oh, man.
Turkey?
Bacon wrap.
They are more the same than we thought.
Bacon wrapped?
Bacon wrapped turkey, huh?
If I had one message to send to the young men listening, any of you motherfuckers, if old head could give you, I don't get laid a lot, but I do okay. Women are always two things. They're always hungry and they're always cold. And when dudes that used to trip me out, they'd always be, man, fucking bitches never know where they want to eat. I've never given a woman a plate of freshly cooked food and she didn't eat that shit. So fuck Andrew Tate, start watching Gordon Ramsay because he will get you more pussy.
That's right.
If you can cook, I love to cook, man.
Yeah. That's Cali Blaze, New York?
Yeah.
New York? He's the guy.
He's an excellent cook.
Oh, my God.
Getting uncomfortable with the similarity.
Y'all are cousins.
I know, right? I'm like, oh man, my dad, was you ever in Puerto Rico, man? Like, when you was in the Navy?
Don't do that 23 and me, man.
Word.
No, I don't. I
Could
know
be his
better.
lost brother, B.
Yeah.
He never.
Happy brother.
Start getting calls from Mexico. I'll be like, no, that's no.
Word up, man. We want to thank everybody. Are we giving away something before I go into that?
Yeah, we're going to do the ticket giveaway, but we can do that during the shout out.
Let's do that now.
Yeah?
Dope.
Sure. All right, let me get this set up here. All right, so we're doing the ticket giveaway for the Sunday Smokeout Comedy Show. Here we go.
Roger J. Cabañas.
Roger.
Salute. Congratulations. Come down to the Ice House, man. We're going to have them tickets for you. Send your information to Be Real TV. Fuck me. Be Real at... You said both.
You jinxed it. Earlier we were talking.
Send us your information to BeRealTVContest@gmail.com.
There you go. There you
Get
go.
the national anthem, motherfucker. I forgot my email.
I forgot my email, goddammit. See? Always the first word.
I mean, that's
what happened
That's not for you to say anyway. That's what you got Bolt there for.
I always say it.
You're supposed to be like, yo, Bolt, let them know.
I say the thing.
Oh, shit. All right. I think we got one more.
We got
before
Teresa up in here saying, "Hi, Be Real. Thanks for the tickets. It's Terry. Oh, you could do anything if you are an angel from good. We love you so much.
Word up. Thank you
Angel
very
from
much.
God."
Word up. Thank you from Terry. Thank you, Terry. Sorry. I'm high right now.
I'm not. This is great.
This is awesome.
This is the shit you want to see.
Yeah. Word up. We want to thank everybody for getting down with us today on the Dr. Greenthumb Show. Make sure you smash that like on the way out and share it out. Let people know what's cracking. Subscribe to the channel and all that. And remember, the Mix Show is coming up after this. And we want to thank John for sitting in again. Second of many times that he's going to be sitting here.
Thank you guys so much, man. For real, like, just real quick, this shit was This is like bucket list shit, man. This was cool as shit.
Love, hell yeah.
All you guys, thank you very much.
Plug the gig one more again.
Yeah, we got this Sunday, man, Smokeout Sunday, and I added two other my favorite comics, Jesus Trejo, Luz Pasos, and I'm pretty sure Martin Moreno is gonna come out.
Nice.
So I mean, it's literally I promise you, this will be one of the best shows you've ever seen. Ken Flores, Paul fucking Rodriguez.
Oh man, they in for a good one.
Be Real's hosting, so come on
Yeah,
out.
I'm gonna do about 2 minutes.
Be like, hey,
5 minutes set, real quick.
real quick.
C minus, you got any shout outs?
Forget that.
Shout out to everyone here at the table. Shout out to the Treehouse crew, Bolton, Ray, the Dominator. Shout out to Aton. Shout out to Dro. You can follow me at C-Fan4 on all the social medias, and I'll be on tonight at 7 o'clock on Twitch. I'll do another Purple Music set, and then, yeah, we'll go from there. So, yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow or later tonight for sure. What up?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm so bad at that. I'm on Instagram at JStites1 or Jon Stites1. Yeah,
You forgot too.
Yeah, but I never claimed to be smart in the first fucking.
All right.
Like my brain wasn't worth the fuck before I started smoking weed.
We'll take that. Les.
Yo, happy Thursday, everybody. Cheers.
Amen.
And, word, John, good looks for coming through. Salute the whole Dr. Greenthumb squad, everybody hanging out with us. If you're on the IG, follow me, Psycho Less Official or Psycho Less Beats and Beer. And if you're checking for the funky merch, go to the psycholessshop.com. And like I said, it's Thursday. Get ready for the mix.
Bolton.
Shout the Insane Asylum. Thank you guys so much. Shout to Ray, Morning Shot Films. Shout to the Dominator. And what's going on, B?
Get some laughs in your life. Swallow that.